Did Washington just make the right call for America? DOJ threatens to arrest state election officials if non-citizens vote. The Department of Justice is threatening to arrest more than a dozen state election officials if a single vote is cast in their states by a non-citizen. The threat was part of a letter giving election officials 5 days to detail how they will comply with laws on non-citizens voting. Amna Nawaz discussed more with Jessica Huseman of VoteBeat, Huab. Here's everything we know so far. Political analysts say this development could have major consequences heading into the next election cycle. Stay with us for the full story and more breaking news throughout the day. This story was reported by PBS NewsHour. For daily U.S. political news, subscribe to Global News Digest.
Here is what Wall Street does not want you to know. Plattner quits Maine Senate race. Democrats set to pick new nominee. Maine Democrats must now replace Plattner with less than 4 months until the midterm elections. Let's break this down quickly. This story is moving markets and has significant implications for the U.S. economy and consumer spending. We will continue to monitor this story and bring you updates as they become available. This story was reported by CNBC Top News. Stay on top of your money. Follow Global News Digest for daily finance updates.
Congress just passed something, and most Americans do not know yet. Scandal-plagued Graham Plattner drops Maine Senate bid. Graham Plattner, the oyster farmer whose populist platform took Maine by storm, dropped his Senate bid Wednesday night as controversies over his past stacked up, leaving Democrats without a nominee to take on Sen. Susan Collins' Maine this fall. "We're suspending campaign operations," Plattner told his supporters in a lengthy video posted on Socia. Here are the key details. This story is dominating political discussions across the country and drawing reactions from leaders in both parties. This is one of the top stories we are watching closely today across the United States. This story was reported by The Hill. More breaking political news every day. Subscribe now.
Every American with a bank account needs to hear this. China consumer price growth weakens in June, while producer inflation rises to near 4-year high. Investors increasingly view China's two-speed growth with robust export and tepid domestic demand as a defining long-term feature of the Chinese economy. This is why it matters. Financial analysts are closely watching how this develops and what it means for markets and everyday investors. Our team is tracking every development as this story continues to unfold in real time. This story was reported by CNBC Top News. For daily market and financial news, subscribe to Global News Digest.
The Federal Reserve just made a decision that affects your money. Trump's surprise Ukraine shift steadies nervous allies. A summit that threatened new acrimony among the allies ended with free guns and love in the room. Here's what's actually happening. This story is moving markets and has significant implications for the U.S. economy and consumer spending. Follow along as we cover the key details, the background, and what happens next. This story was reported by Financial Times. Stay on top of your money. Follow Global News Digest for daily finance updates.
Is this good or bad for the country? You decide. News wrap: Judge orders $5.08 M paid to E. Jean Carroll in Trump sex abuse. Defamation case. In our news wrap Wednesday, a federal judge ordered that $5 million in damages be released to E. Jean Carroll stemming from her sexual abuse lawsuit against President Trump. Former Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel called for the U.S. to end unconditional support for Israel, and the International Monetary Fund lowered its global growth forecast for this year. The key facts you need to know: this is a developing story and we expect more information to emerge in the coming hours. This story was reported by PBS NewsHour. More breaking political news every day. Subscribe now.
This NBA move just changed the entire playoff picture. Why did 20% of the NBA participate in a complicated 6-team trade involving 10 role players? Khris Middleton's return to the Wizards evolved into a complex deal with one main objective for 6 teams. Here's everything we know so far. Basketball fans and analysts are calling this one of the most significant moves of the season. Stay with us for the full story and more breaking news throughout the day. This story was reported by CBS Sports NBA. For daily NBA news, subscribe to Global News Digest.
Is this the biggest MLB move of the year? 2026 MLB All-Star Game. Full rosters unveiled as Phillies, Dodgers, Braves lead selections. The Allen NL squads, including starters, were unveiled ahead of the July 14 Midsummer Classic in Philadelphia. Let's break this down quickly. MLB insiders are calling this a game-changing development with major implications for the standings. We will continue to monitor this story and bring you updates as they become available. This story was reported by CBS Sports MLB. Stay in the game all season. Follow us for daily baseball coverage.
This verdict has lawyers across America reacting right now. Kagan and Barrett to testify before Congress. Plus, Trump has asked the court to reconsider his appeal of a $5 million jury award. Here are the key details. This case has been closely watched by legal observers who say it sets a significant precedent. This is one of the top stories we are watching closely today across the United States. This story was reported by Skadu S. blog. More court and legal updates daily on Global News Digest.
The tech story everyone is searching for right now. Wealthy AI workers send San Francisco house prices soaring. The median cost of a home in the city is now $1.07, a record high, according to the latest figures. This is why it matters. Tech industry insiders say this development will reshape competition among the biggest players in Silicon Valley. Our team is tracking every development as this story continues to unfold in real time. This story was reported by BBC Technology. For daily tech and AI news, subscribe to Global News Digest.